Is it someone special's birthday coming up? Are you hosting a party to celebrate? If so, why not decorate your walls with this amazing giant sign, all made from cardstock on a Cricut machine? Hello and welcome to Craft with Sarah. In this video, I'm showing you how to put together this amazing giant happy birthday sign. This measures an incredible 27 inches wide, but it comes in sections, if I can turn it around without dropping it. So it all cuts from a regular Cricut cutting mat, from A4, US letter, or 12 by 12 cardstock. It's even got some holes in the top for if you want to hang it up, or because it's got a flat bottom. Just realised doing that on the back's not helpful because you can't see, but it does have a flat bottom on it, so you can prop it up. Now this SVG is a paid design from my shop, and you can find the link to get it in the description below the video. But if you're a Craft Clubhouse member, then you can download it for free from within your Craft Clubhouse account. If you're not sure what Craft Clubhouse is, it is my online SVG club, which gives you instant access to hundreds of layered SVGs, vinyl designs, greetings cards, shadow boxes, and more, all for one payment. That's right, this isn't a Netflix-style membership where you have to pay every single month forever and ever. It's just one payment, or you can split it into 6 monthly payments to help spread the cost, and then you get lifetime access to all those files, plus new designs every month at no extra cost. To find out more, go to craftwithsarah.com/clubhouse. But as I said, if you don't want to purchase the whole of Craft Clubhouse, you just want this design, check out the description of the video to find out where to get it. But now let's see how to start making this incredible giant birthday sign. Follow the link in the description of this video to go straight to the download page. The download comes in a zip folder, and you need to unzip this before you can upload the files into Cricut Design Space. Once you've downloaded and unzipped the folder, it's time to get the SVG file into Cricut Design Space. Open up Design Space and start a new project, and then get into Upload over on the left, and then Upload Image. You can then either click Browse to find the file on your computer, or drag and drop it in. Make sure you choose the unzipped version of the folder, and then the file to upload is the one which starts SVG in the file name. Click and drag that in, and this is what it should look like. So then I can press Upload, and it will appear in my recent uploads, so I can click it to get the green border, and then press Add to Canvas. And this might take a little while as it loads in big. It should load in at 27 inches wide, and it's just over 13.6 inches tall. This will cut fine from either 12 by 12 cardstock or A4 paper or card. However, if you're using US letter card, you'll need to make the sign a little bit smaller, or you might want to make it smaller anyway, because 27 inches is really quite a big sign. So if you want to make it smaller, click the design. Make sure this padlock icon is closed. If it's open, then click on it to close it. And then type your width in. If you're using US letter paper, I'd go for 25 inches wide. Press Enter, and then the height changes in proportion. And this one will now cut beautifully from US letter. But I'm going to go back to 27. I want to make this as big as I possibly can. And the reason that this will cut on A4 is because A4 is a bit longer than US letter, so the pieces fit on better. To see the whole design, you can zoom out down here. This is how big it is. And you can see now I've zoomed out how we're able to cut such a big design on our regular Cricut mat. And it's because it's come in sections. So all of the big bits at the bottom are pulled apart into different sections that will be sticking together. If I scroll all the way down to the layers, bottom of the layers panel, you can see a bit better. Here are my bottom blue pieces, all in their individual little bits. So there we go. This is now all ready. So I can just click on Make It to separate out the colors. Fair warning, this will need a lot of mats. I'm going to change my paper size to A4. And you can see now this is my white, and I'm going to need 8 pieces, and they're all just kind of slightly too big for me to be able to merge them. I don't think this would fit that way round. No, it doesn't. And you can scroll all the way down to see them all. The other big one is, of course, the bottom blue bit. If I change that to A4, that I'm going to need 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 pieces again. So go ahead, get all of your pieces changed to the cardstock you're going to be using. Then you can move things about if you want to. But once that's all looking how you want it to, then go ahead, click continue, and maybe go and get yourself a cup of tea or a coffee before you start. Put something good on the television because it's going to take you a little while. But the nice thing about this giant sign compared to some of the other ones I've done is that most of the shapes are all pretty simple. There's not a lot of detailed patterns in this. So although it is lots and lots of different mats and different colours, it actually doesn't take as long to cut out as most of my other giant signs. So that is definitely a plus. When you've cut everything out from cardstock, we'll see how to stick it all together. Here's my giant sign all cut out, and I've laid everything roughly in its correct position so I can check I'm happy with the colours and that I haven't missed anything. Now this is so big, it's too big to actually completely get into shot on my camera, but it looks amazing. I can already tell that this is going to be so effective when it's all stuck together. As with all layered designs, we want to start at the bottom and work our way upwards. So I'm going to move all these pieces away from the bottom blue bits, but try and keep various things together so that I don't have to rearrange it all quite so much again at the end. Here are my bottom bits of the giant sign, which is all these light blue bits. There should be 6 in total. It's got these little squares and rectangles on it to make it easier for us to know where to line it up. And then there are 2 holes in the top middle bit, and we'll be using this to hang it up with some twine. If you don't want to, if you just want to prop it up, it does have a flat, straight bottom, so you can just put it on a shelf or something like that. So to line this up, I'll start with my top left, and you just sort of go over each one so that your little shapes will line up. So that one will be where that goes. And I'm going to line everything up before I start sticking it together so that I can be really sure I'm going to get it right. Because if you don't quite get the bottom lined up, it then makes everything else that little bit harder. I'm going to move that over there, otherwise you won't be able to see this bit. That's the trick with these giant signs, making it so you can see what I'm doing. This is quite a nice simple one to line up compared to some of the other giant signs that I've done. That's not very straight, is it? That bit's wrong. It needs to go like that. So I'm making sure that I can fully see through all of these holes. There we go. For some reason, that bottom bit is not looking like a straight line. That looks more straight to me. So that none of this moves about when I'm sticking each bit, I've got some washi tape here, or you can use masking tape or painter's tape or any other low tack tape. And I'm going to stick some of these to my table so they're not going to move about the moment I start sticking them all together. God, this is hard to tear washi tape. Normally it's really easy. I'm taping the 4 bits on this side and I'm leaving those 2. So put a bit across there. Alright, so I can start gluing on these 2. I'm using Kalal glue because it doesn't bend or wrinkle the cardstock, but any glue, any craft glue will be fine. And let's take this one out. I'm going to add my glue down this line and this line in line with the little shape cutouts. I just moved that one. I probably should have taped that one too. Okay. Put that back. And it's also going to overlap there, but I'll glue that bit a bit later. So I'll glue, just add a little bit of glue in there that I missed. And then down here and along the bottom here. I've gone up a little bit too tall there with my glue, but that's okay, I won't notice when it's all done. That one. Just help that stay in place while it's drying. I will do this one next, I think. And just go down here. And finally, piece number 6 gets glued down here and here. Oops, I just moved that one. Okay. I'm going to have trouble with this one again. Something about this piece is causing me issues. Right, I haven't quite got that lined up right. It's not quite matching, but it'll do. I think it'll be close enough. Alright, I'm going to wait for that glue to completely dry and then we'll turn it upside down and help secure all those join lines. Here's my sign turned upside down. And I'm going to just take some sticky tape and go over all of the join lines to help to secure them. It doesn't matter if you go over the holes because we'll be covering those up, just don't go over the 2 holes in the top. And I like to kind of do more than I'm going to need so that I can cut it smaller afterwards when I know how long I want my ribbon to be. And we'll put one end through one hole, the other through this one. And then we're going to need to secure this so that it's stuck underneath this little gap, otherwise you'll see it. So I'm going to do this with some sticky tape too. You could also glue gun it in place. Right, that's not going anywhere. Turn it back around and now we can start with the next section, which is these pieces here. And we've also got our little lines on there to line it up. So I'm going to go around and get these back into position. some of this will be hiding the little cutouts from earlier, so just be careful when you're doing it. This one isn't lining up great. I think I definitely messed that up. Oh no, it's because it's the wrong piece. Is it? Is it that bit? I'm confusing myself now. I'm pretty sure it's that bit. Might have to check. It's because it needs to go all the way to the edge. That's why it wasn't lining up. And you can't see that anyway. These bits, they go all the way to the edge. And now I've got these in place. I'm going to glue them together along the edges, but I'm not sticking this to my base card yet, my glue. We'll be doing that later. Okay. So I can just go through and glue all these sides again. Where am I going to start? Start with this one. It's only joined on by a tiny bit to the white. I'm doing this on top of the blue so that I can actually make sure I have got it all lined up where it should be going. So those two bits where the ribbons are meeting should line up exactly, and that will help to know that the blue's in the right, the white's in the right place. Although you could just completely move it like I just did. Oh dear. Right, now I'm happy with those two bits. Let's just washi tape them in place. And then move on to this pink bit. That's going to join on there. So it's covering up our guideline here. And you can know when it's lined up because you've got the edge of the balloon and also this little edge of the ribbon. That one. Then I've got this piece. This one we have the square to use as the guide. And also, although you can't see, I can't move it because I've stuck it to my table. It's straight along the bottom, so it'll go right along the bottom too. And so I can add glue along there and down the edge of the gift. Next we'll do this one, and this has got this circle to line it up on. So I can put glue along the pink and down the green. Line up that circle. There. And then this one. That overlaps quite a lot. I think I'll leave that one till last and work on my pink bits next. Again, the pink one's kind of easy because it lines right up along the right-hand side, even though you can't see what I'm doing. So I can just put some down the yellow. Line that up. And then my white bit on the top. Line up like that. And then that one. Actually, I might do this one first because it's got a triangle on it. that one, and then finally, the one you can't really see. This one's going to cover up that triangle. Oh, that all lined up pretty well in the end. I'm happy with that. Once again, I'm going to wait for the glue to dry and then turn it upside down and add some tape along all the join lines. Here's the back of my piece, and I've added my sticky tape down all the joints, and I've also added on all the foam squares so you didn't have to watch me stick them on one at a time. As well as going around the edge with my foam squares, I've also put lots in the middle. This piece needs lots of foam. It needs to stick on really well because it's going to have everything else on top of it. You could glue this layer if you want to, if you don't want to use up so many of your foam pads. Running out of room. There's this one, and then I need to carefully stick this piece on top. And what I actually should have done was make sure I don't have any foam where that twine's going to be. I think, by luck, from looking at it, I think I'm okay. Alright, let's line this up. And it's quite easy to line up along the bottom. Oh, unless you drop it, like I just did. Get that gift in place. And then a nice straight edge. I'm just kind of gently dropping it as I go, without sticking it yet, so that if I need to pick it up and move it, if it's not stuck right, I can. That appears to be looking good. Let's push down to stick, stick, stick. You can see I haven't quite got my alignment right because that balloon is, there's more gap here than there is on there, but it's fine. I can try and move it up a bit. No, that's fine. You won't even notice when it's all finished. Alright, next we've got the last big bit. And I know it feels a bit weird that we're putting white on the exact same white shape, but it's because it was just stuck in white on this one because you won't be able to see any of it. We needed the piece to join onto these bits, otherwise it wouldn't have been level when it was all done. So I'm going to get these into where they need to go. Right, it's time to get our glue on again, and this time it's easiest to use the two balloons on the top right as your guides, because we know exactly where they need to be because they're just sitting on top of what's already there. The ends of the balloons, you've got two little white bits. Just be careful lining those up. I've kind of lost one of them. I can't see it anywhere. I'm hoping it will turn up in a minute. But I'm going to wait for the glue to dry again. And then, you've guessed it, we'll turn it upside down, put sticky tape down all the join lines, and then add the foam squares. Here's the back of my design with all the sticky tape on and all the foam squares. So let's get this onto the sign. Put that one back. And again, I'm going to use the balloons, just like when we were sticking this bit together. These two balloons on the left and the right can be used to get this into position. I haven't quite got my lining up amazing. You can see a few bits poking through, but overall, I'm happy with it. And when it's put up, you're not going to be that close to it anyway. Okay, right, that is the big bits done. Now we can start adding the details on. Right, I've laid all those pieces on, so I know where they're all going to go. And I seem to have ended up with some leftover white bits. I'm going to delete those from the file so you won't end up with those ones. I don't think they're needed. I think the original idea was to then put them under these bits again to give it a bit more depth, but I don't think it's needed, so yes, if you saw them at the beginning, I'm not going to use them and your file won't have them in them. That's the beauty of testing everything. It means I can spot things that aren't quite right and fix them. Okay, let's get sticking. And you can glue these bits or use your foam. It's completely up to you. I think I will glue the balloons and the little banners, foam the wording, and then all these little stars I've got hanging about, I will foam. So that's foam for the star there, and this one. I love how colourful this is, it's so nice. I have no idea if I've actually put the right coloured stars in the right place, by the way. I was just guessing. If you want to put it exactly as per the design, then just check how it's looking in Design Space or on your assembly guide to make sure you've got it in the right order. I don't think it really matters though. It's going to look really nice no matter where it goes. Whilst I'm here, I'll also do the detail layer on this big balloon, which again I'm going to glue. There, and the star I'll foam on with a little bit of pop. Oh, this looks so good. I love it when you get to kind of the end of the giant signs, when they really start coming to life. Make sure you don't stick this to the top of any of those happy letters. Slide them out the way for now. This one has another layer on top, which is to make that little spotty pattern, which I'll glue on as well while I'm here. Okay, gluing done. Now onto the foam for all of these letters. This is going to take me a fair few minutes, I think. Here's the H. And I'll put everything back into position actually before I really start, just to check that's all right. And now what I'm going to do, so you don't have to watch me stick a million letters, is just pause this recording and then come back and show you the finished sign. Here is my giant off the mat happy birthday sign, all finished and ready to display. So it can either be propped up along the bottom or hung up with my twine. I am so happy with this. Look at all those colours. I hope you enjoyed this video on how to make this giant happy birthday sign from cardstock. If you did, please give the video video a thumbs up and subscribe to my YouTube channel for loads more Cricut crafts and free SVGs. Thank you for watching. Bye!